Good evening. I'm going to talk to you today about starting an online class, taking your format from the classroom to your online setting. From Sam Collins' point of view, a teacher who has been teaching for nearly 6 years in science, and now he's been encouraged to take the materials and resources and place them into more of an online format for distance learning. Then the things and the elements and the different structures that Sam would need to get this done. And we know that in a traditional classroom, you have your students, you have your teachers who arrive on a daily basis with expectations from past experiences that they may have had in classrooms. And all those students typically need or perhaps frequent reminder of what's required of them. There's usually a familiar format about the experience for both the teacher and the student alike. So in an online classroom, an entirely new set of variables were entered into the equation. Little like trying to drive a foreign country, just about. You know how to drive, just like you know how to teach, but it sure does not make it easier, and you don't always get the hang of driving or being in this situation when you're on the left side of the road. So you're not quite sure how far you have to go, to the extent what you have to do to reach your students, but you can learn the different things that you need to do, and the different resources are there for you to use to make sure. So this is basically what I would call the rules of the road for online learning, and how you would use different resources and how you would contain it. First, you're going to show up and you're going to teach just like you would do in the classroom. You're going to practice proactive course management. You're going to make sure you establish patterns of course activities. You're going to plan for the unplanned always. You're going to have a response for requested things and expected things. Think before you write anything. That's not only for you as the teacher, but you always encourage your students to do the same thing. You're going to help maintain forward progress with your online learning. And you're going to make sure that things are always safe and secure. The quality of work is a must. It counts. You're going to also make sure that these principles are developed. You want to make sure that they're developed, and you want to make sure they outline core behaviors so that successful online learning will take place and your students are always successful. You want to help define the perimeters around the investment of time on part of the instructor. And in this way, you want to make sure that barriers and limitations of online learning and specific strategies assist instructors as well as achieving the performance and expectations of your students. So in doing so, making sure that when you're coming from bringing your things from the classroom to making it for the online learning, you want to make sure that all of those things are always in place. You want to make sure that you're effective online teaching. You want to make sure that, like I said before, you show up and teach. Give it just as much as you were standing in front of those students every day. You want to make sure that you're practicing the proactive course management strategies that they need to have. You want to make sure that you're establishing a must of patterns of the course activities. You want to make sure that those children feel those students feel just as well with you in the course online, just like they would in the classroom. You want to make sure they still have that connection. That is the number one priority. And that's how I feel that you should be able to use those resources from going from a classroom setting to a course of online learning. Thank you.